Most nights, I was laying upstairs in bed. My door would be open, and downstairs, I would hear what a lot of households hear around dinner time. Dishes clanking together. I would hear the silverware going onto the table, the kids eating and talking and laughing, and hear my husband talking to the boys. What was missing was my voice and my presence. And that was probably my biggest struggle when I was really, really sick and had to stay upstairs separate from the rest of my life. It ended up that every element began in some way to be too much. Everything did something. If it was too hot out, I couldn't go outside. It was hard to breathe. If I wanted to walk, my leg was hurting so badly. I couldn't walk as an exercise. I mean, I could take a couple steps to go to the bathroom, but there was no, duration of time for walking. So I would just be upstairs after, a whole day, just like the day before, of being up there by myself, hearing the sound effects of life downstairs while I was upstairs. And as you can imagine, I was already in a bad place, in a dark place. I was in a dark place. And the longer that went on, I'm having a lot of energy move through me right now, talking about this. This is such a loaded topic with so many emotions that it is challenging to talk about, but important. Because when I share my experience with you, hopefully you'll know that you're not alone. It's devastating, especially when you feel in your heart that that's how it's going to be. You were the one that was running around, taking the kids where they needed to go, making sure they had what they needed, always thinking ahead. What do we need next? As you can imagine, it was a very dark place to be. And in this place, I knew that I was not ready to give up completely, but I was also not willing.
Got a fire in my heart that's burning bright.
To continue my life the way it was, separated from my family, kind of living side by side, watching everything happening, but not being able to participate. The feeling that I had from at one point being able to do all of those things with my kids and with my family, with friends, for myself, all of it changed. And little by little, I felt like chronic illness was stealing my life. But that gave me the determination that things were going to change. I don't know how, but they're going to change. I was consuming a lot of content on YouTube. I began seeing how people were finding relief. It wasn't the first time I heard any of the information. It was that I was ready to accept it and to integrate it. So I understood the mind-body connection. As someone with scoliosis, I always knew about that mind-body connection. And I remember there would be times I would say that, I know my emotional experiences growing up, trauma, as I pushed things down and didn't know how to express. This night, as I was laying there in bed, I actually wasn't just laying there, because another chronic illness that I suffer with is restless leg syndrome. You cannot stop moving your leg. You cannot it's impossible to lie still. And it usually occurs when you're sitting or lying down, trying to rest after being up on your feet for a while, but it doesn't let you. And it feels like creepy crawlies under your skin, restless leg syndrome. So I'm up there having a bout of restless leg syndrome. I mean, this was happening daily, which, by the way, I can't remember the last time that I had those symptoms, which is remarkable. But that night, I did. I had a really bad episode and was feeling extremely overwhelmed. And everything was like coming to a point, when you just have every pressure, you've loaded it into your mind, you've reloaded old shit, and you're just stressing yourself out, basically. You're thinking of all the things that worry you and thinking of all the things that are lacking, thinking of all the negative, like the negative bias that we have. We just naturally remember the bad things more than the good things. It's a proven fact that we do that as human beings. When we concentrate on lack, we are then, we're reinforcing what we don't have, how we don't feel. When we do that, we are filling up our precious time. We are building up that focus on what we don't have so strong that we can then begin to actually attract the things we don't want, the things we're so sick of. Guess what we're doing by harping on them, ruminating? We are emphasizing them. We're encouraging them. No, stay. You don't have to go. It's okay. It's all right. I know you're a pain in the ass, but still stay. It's fine. And I know it makes sense if you think about it. So what do you do? Because we don't want to reinforce what we don't want, right? So we need to think of a new way, a new habit, a new pattern of thinking, of behaving when we have things coming up or chronic illness, chronic symptoms that we are not okay with. And it's very different than the way a lot of us have been raised. I know personally, sickness was viewed as, everything changes if you're sick and you're treated differently. If I was sick when I was little, we couldn't wash our hair because a chill if we went outside, which we weren't even allowed to really go outside when we were sick. So I don't know why, but that was just an example of like an old-fashioned rule that was enforced in my house growing up because that's what my parent had experienced. That's how he was raised. So it just got passed along. That's what was natural to my dad. So when he cared for his kids, he naturally implemented a lot of those same things, a lot of which are not applicable or not true. I wanted to scream, basically. I felt so much sadness for the life I had lost. And I really felt that I lost that life. Even with the knowledge in the back of my mind of the mind-body connection, and I knew all of those things. I've always loved that the self-help section in Barnes and Noble or, online. But when it came down to it, and I was really in the thick of my chronic illnesses, I didn't resource from that place. It's almost like I forgot. And I think that happens a lot when people are sick or stressed. They might have good coping skills and coping mechanisms, ways to listen to themselves, but it's tricky to also remember to use them and be able to benefit from them. But it takes practice. It's not easy because a lot of us were raised with these rules and these guidelines and restrictions. When we're taking care of ourselves, we are responsible for what we decide is right. What we decide is possible. And if we have a fear because of ideas like not going outside with your hair wet, it takes a lot to get that courage. That's basically, it's building the courage to think in new ways and to pull yourself out of where you are. So that's what I had to do. I had to find a way to pull myself out of that place. I didn't think I could take away my pain, but I knew there was something. I didn't have to know what it looked like. All I had to do was make my decision, but I didn't have to write the whole formula out for what I was going to do. I knew that I was too young for my story to end there. The rest of my story to be the mom that lived in bed. I knew this was no way to live. A choice had to be made, and I chose to heal. That moment, that surge of sadness and anger combined with whatever strength was left in me. It wasn't just a choice to heal. It was a decision to reclaim my life, my home, my heart, my identity. I realized in that moment, healing needed to begin where I was, where I lived, in my body, in my breath, and in the narrative that I replayed in my mind over and over. Let's take a moment together right now and just put your hand on your belly if you feel safe to do that right now. Just softly place your hand where your solar plexus are, right above your belly button. Gently take notice of what's happening inside your body. Take a nice deep breath. Notice what is happening inside. What are you feeling, if anything? You don't have to name anything, just notice and breathe. Is it warmth? Is it tension? Is it a flutter? Just hold that sensation. Breathe with it. Describing your sensation like this helps you give a name to how it feels instead of naming the emotion. A tightness, a heaviness. Using descriptive words helps us calm our nervous system and begin rewriting our story. That moment of pause isn't just a practice. It's permission. The permission to feel, to reframe, and to say, I am not my symptoms. You are not your pain. You are the chooser of your story. You are not your symptoms, but you are the storyteller. Whether you aren't able to sleep, not able to come downstairs, missing dinner, or you have restless limbs, I see you. You are not alone. If you feel ready to take that next step towards something different, even just a breath at a time, I'm here rooting for you. If today's words spoke to you, reached you, leave a comment below. I'm ready. Write an intention that you've decided is right for you in this moment. I've created a guide I will link below. It's a journaling guide to help you with taking that first step. And if your heart needs a moment of stillness, take a nice deep breath in as we close today's episode. Wishing you so much love and healing light. Don't forget to put your thoughts in the comments. I really like to read those. Namaste. Okay, then the mic stopped working. Now we have the mic back on board. So let's try to finish this video. Hello? Okay, my light just went out. Okay. So